business.
Tommy Pearson must know.
He's your cousin's solicitor?
Yes. Cousin Edgar always felt father's lawyer, the old family firm since forever, condescended to him because he'd been a schoolmaster, not brought up to his new station in life. He was very impressed with Tommy's part in that kidnapping business. You didn't hear that bell? I think I'd better go and read in bed, said Belinda with dignity, if you're going to keep talking about things I'm not supposed to hear. Heavens, yes. It's after 10, past your bedtime. Belinda kissed each of them good night, then said, Mummy, may I go and see the twins? Just a peek? Of course, darling. You don't need to ask. Quiet as a mouse, though. I know. I just like to ask in case Nurse Gilpin catches me. She can't fuss if you've said yes, can she? Alec grinned.
I wouldn't count on it. Every victory over Mrs. Gilpin is temporary.
I don't care much if she does fuss. They're my brother and sister after all. Daddy, is Oliver your heir male of the body?
He would be, if I had a title pet, but you can't inherit a job with the Metropolitan Police. As it is, you're all my heirs.
Daisy was not prepared to go into the business of a father's part in the bodily side of parenthood. Run along and tackle Nurse now, darling, she said firmly. Looking determined, Belinda left the room. Daisy sighed. Sometimes life seemed to be a perpetual battle with Oliver and Miranda's nanny, whose Victorian attitude dictated that parents had no business in the nursery. She returned to consideration of Lady Dalrymple's news. However unrewarding, it was bound to be infinitely preferable to the letter that had lurked beneath it in the pile, from Daisy's mother, the Dowager Viscountess.
I'm surprised Pearson didn't find out who the present heir is when he took over.
Alec poked disgustedly at the bowl of his pipe with a used matchstick, then reached for the matchbox and started the flare puff routine again. It may not have crossed his mind. Cousin Edgar probably has a perfectly sound will, leaving everything to his wife, and Tommy doesn't go in for aristocratic clients. In fact, I think he does his best to avoid them, because of Madge being Lady Margaret. She told me he's too independent to want to take advantage of her family connections.
I expect all he really wants is to avoid the complications of entailed estates.
I wouldn't blame him, said Daisy, trying to make out what Cousin Geraldine was going on about. Her writing was the kind that looks very neat, but is difficult to decipher. Oh, she's complaining about the Dalrymples not being prolific in the production of sons. What cheek, when she hasn't produced a single heir of the body herself, male or female. Besides, it worked to her advantage. If I'd had lots of brothers, she wouldn't be a viscountess.
What exactly is Edgar's relationship to you?
I've never worked it out. Daisy had next to no interest in the ramifications of aristocratic family trees, unlike her friend Lucy. Possibly, as a result, Lucy had married the younger son of a marquis and was now Lady Gerald Binkham, whereas Daisy had married a Scotland Yard detective. Some sort of second cousin, I think. Or third. Once removed, I'm pretty sure of that. Geraldine says they're having to go back to my great-great-grandfather's descendants now. That would be my great-grandfather's brothers, I suppose.
Great Scott! They must have been born about, let's see, 1800 or so.
Smoke spiraled up, and Alec sat back contentedly. The second brother was Edgar's grandfather. Apparently the third never married. The fourth and youngest got a governess into trouble and was shipped off to the West Indies. At least, that's the family legend.
Not one either your father or your mother would pass on to you.
How right you are! Gervase told me. And Gervase had gone on.